waiting for them to contact me back. Because in my head, I'm thinking, surely they haven't, like, they're not gone. They haven't left me here. They know where I am. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I had trust in them. I'd put all my trust in them, my whole life trust in them. And it was like, surely they're not going to leave. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they know I've got no food. They know I've got no money. They know I've got nowhere to go. Surely not. But they did. Do you know what I mean? So I went about my day. I asked my followers, what shall I go and do? I had a man in Canada messaging me, and he went to do a 500-mile walk after I'd got home. Basically to, like, say I pushed him to do it, you know what I mean?
Contextualize it for anyone listening. Boz walked 2,000 miles across America. It was for mental health.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, an amazing journey, which you're going to tell us about. Breaking barriers and inspiring people.
Yeah, yeah.
It took a few twists for the worst.
Yeah.
But you still do it. Just before we get into the story, I know you're still working with charities in Liverpool and you're still supporting young men and trying to find ways to raise money.
Yeah. So basically, I walked from Washington, D.C. all the way to Brownsville in Texas, but the original plan was to walk 1,500 miles and then cycle 500 miles to SpaceX to try and get Elon Musk's attention. Obviously, the richest man in the world, and he also gives loads of money to charity. So that was our aim.
Currently a trillionaire as of yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. So it wouldn't be too bad getting him on side with it.
The plan sounded great, and when I've heard you talk about this plan, you said it was almost too good to be true. But why was it too good to be true?
Because who gets a phone call saying, do you want to go and walk across America for free and I'll pay all your bills while you're there?
Well, I've never had it personally.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's literally unbelievable. That's just the definition of the word. You don't get asked, right, okay, we're going to pay for you to go to America, somewhere I've wanted to go all my life. And not just go to America, but walk through 5 states. And I'd never done, obviously I'd done like stupid challenges like running and stuff like that, and the odd mountains and like the Welsh 3000s and stuff like that. But that was just for fun, do you know what I mean? And then I literally just got off the couch, got off the plane and just started walking. Yeah,
it was kind of surreal. So when they said we'll pay for everything, what was the actual plan?
So I told them, basically the ball was pretty much in my court, because they'd basically asked a friend of mine, Speedo Man, shout out Speedo Man, and he couldn't go. He couldn't do it. He wasn't available at the time they wanted to do it. So he basically said, these have asked me to ask you, do you want to go on this mission? He'd been to Morocco, disaster zones, he'd been to the favelas in Brazil, and nothing had ever happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, they'd done well, it was all successful, every mission was good.
But from what I'm understanding is they were raising money, this charity had a track record of raising money, doing it well, but they were happy until, for whatever reason, the funds that they were searching for did not turn up, and that's when, spoiler alert, they absolutely abandoned you.
Yeah. So the first week, it was pretty much all plain sailing. I was made up to be there, they were made up I was there. Funds weren't a problem. Food weren't a problem. Your basic day-to-day needs now. And walking, the smallest day I walked was 14 miles. And that was the first day because it didn't start till 2:30 in the afternoon. The longest day was over 30 miles. And there was a time where I'd done 4 days and I'd done 130 miles in 4 days. So I was losing upwards of 6,000 calories a day, every day. And when it all went pear-shaped, I didn't have nothing. I had nothing. I had no water, no food, no money. Barclays Bank was down. Don't know whether you remember it last year for like 3 or 4 days. Obviously my own money was in my Barclays Bank. Couldn't do nothing with it. So basically, yeah, I went 4.5 days with no food, no water.
Right. Now let's go to A to Z. So if this had worked out properly, how many days should it take you to get from Washington to Brownsville, Texas? What was the plan?
56 days.
56
Yeah.
days. How many miles a day?
Depending on what I could do,
Right.
what I could do, but we were supposed to get, as I say, I was supposed to do 1,500 miles by foot, and the last 500 miles I was going to pedal
Okay.
on Elon Musk's new bike that he just brought out that they were going to purchase.
That didn't work out, that's fine. And then in terms of them funding you, so for us to get an idea of it, and I know you have videos to show us, which we can put into the clips, but they were funding your hotels at night or sometimes food?
Yeah.
That was essentially what they were supposed to do.
Everything. I didn't have to, nothing was coming out of my pocket, nothing.
Not supposed to be coming out.
Not supposed to be. And obviously I had like certain rules in place, and I said to them, I want £500 in cash at all times, either in the bank or in my pocket, in case anything happens. And it just never ever happened. Because once that first week's bit of funding went, it was like, it was crazy trying to get money out of them.
So at the beginning, if you went into a hotel, if you needed food in the evening or morning, that was set?
Yeah, it was supposed to all be booked in advance. The motels, hotels, whatever was supposed to be booked. I arrive, get there, straight in, wash, edit, shower, eat, bed.
And how many miles were you in when they cut your funding? Or when they ignored you? They basically just started ignoring you. Had you already done like 500, 800 at that point?
To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you how many miles it was, but days-wise, it was about day 10.
Day 10?
Day 10, and it's like, my friend at home, Tyler, who was basically like, we laugh about him and say he was like me PA. He was like helping me plan the route ahead. He was telling me like, right, there's a motel in 15 miles for me to tell them to book it. And when the first lot of funding went, and I never had no money myself, it went to, they were sending me money when I needed it, whether it was $40 or $120, and I was saying to them, I need a daily budget or a weekly budget.
Yeah, I hear that.
Instead of like, I need, the room's $60, and then I need $30 for food or whatever. I needed the budget. And then when I pulled them and spoke to them about it, they didn't like it. They didn't want to give me $120 a day, because some rooms were $90. Some were cheaper, but they were expecting me to be able to live off £20 worth of food a day. I could probably eat £20 worth of food a day now without losing 10,000 calories a day.
These days, £20 worth of food, well, what is that even?
Even in America, a pack of bacon's $9.
Right. I hear you.
Do you know what I mean? So, and they were like, well, I could feed my family for free for that. And I'm like,
logistically though, this is what I'm not getting. Like, what was their plan when they sold it to you though? The idea that they just transfer you money via bank transfer daily?
So they were basically, the original plan was, I basically get what I need. Before I go, they sent me money to book me flight, buy boots and what have you, bags, stuff like that. And they said to me, get the best stuff you can get. Obviously, it's got to be comfortable for you, blah, 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 blah. And the logistics behind it was supposed to be, I had X amount of money at all times, minimum $500 in case of emergencies. And they were going to give me, I can't remember the exact figure, but anything I need, basically what I needed. Money weren't an issue. If I was hungry, you know, you got fed, nothing was coming out of my pocket. They even told me not to take my bank cards with me. And obviously, I'm lucky I did. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But that's like, they basically sold it to me, and I was basically like, no.
Right. So we'll finish the story off, or we'll go back more into it, but tell everyone why you did this to begin with. Aside from it was great, it was a great challenge, but the mental health, I know you have a backstory of knowing that people have struggled in your life with mental health.
I was 14, and my friend, he was an older lad, he was a couple of years older, Ellis White. He basically done what he done. It was a massive shock to absolutely everybody. No one expected it. You know, you hear it all the time. He was a big, smiley, happy lad. It's always the way, but he was just, everyone loved him. He was just a lovely, lovely lad. And that completely and utterly just, it just, because of obviously the aging that I was, and I was like, obviously, you think you're a lot older than what you are, and you know what I mean? Like, obviously, it just set me back so much. It just proper affected so many people. Myself included.
And you're from Liverpool?
Liverpool,
Was he from Liverpool as well?
He was from literally over the road, yeah.
This is the thing that I was looking into yesterday, because we have touched on mental health on this podcast before. But yesterday in particular, on the last few days, I've been looking into mental health statistics in Liverpool. And I'm not going to just give you a barrage of them right now. But the Liverpool rate for people not wanting to live anymore is 13.5 per 100,000. As opposed to the England average, which is 10.7. And I've lived in Liverpool for 2-3 years, and I can honestly say I love the Scouse and the Irish influence, and it's a beautiful city, man. It has its challenges, of course. I know that economically it has a lot of challenges, but that's just a staggering rate, because
that's blew my mind, to be honest with you.
26% higher for a young man to want to take his own life in Liverpool than it is the rest of England.
There you go. So, just while we're on that subject, my DMs are always open. Anyone can give me a message anytime, Monday night. The bottom of Chelwood Avenue, L16, 2LJ. I put a men's mental health night on. It's not just for men neither. Anyone can come. Even if you want to bring, you can't get childcare or whatever, just it might not be the space, but I just want people to know that there's a space to go to, and I'm there every Monday for 1 hour. Anyone can come.
It's a big deal, man. Even the life expectancy for men in Liverpool is like 3 years shorter on average. And
that's crazy.
I think there's a lot that we don't see behind the scenes, a lot of economic and political neglect in the north, and especially places in Liverpool. The sad truth is, I don't want to go off too much tangent, but there's places with worse stats than Liverpool.
Wow. It's crazy. It's just unimaginable. So it's like, obviously, I've been in serious situations myself, dark places over the last, let's say, 5-6 years. Was in one the beginning of the year. I had a little bit of a fell off the beginning of the year, January, February. So I know that's why I do it. Do you know what I mean? I know everyone has their own struggles, and it's been all my life. You know what I mean? Like 10 mates in 14 years. That's just not good enough. I'm 28 years of age. I've been to 32 funerals. That is just, when I say that out loud to people and people look at me like, wow.
Can we get into that though a bit? So, based on your experience, why do you think this happens? Is there a pattern that you say, is there's something that these young men are missing in their life?
I just feel like society in general as a whole, even for women, young women coming up, I feel like there's just so much pressure on everyone to do well by such an early age. And you know, some of the most successful people in the world, billionaires, don't get rich till they're after 30. And I just feel like I done it myself. I put a lot of pressure on myself growing up. I wanted to have this, that, the other by 25 and this. And I just feel like when things don't start going right and you've got people around you and even distance, and you see people with, like, you know, nice watches, and he's got a nice car and nice clothes, and the way certain people carry themselves, you start to compare. And I feel like that's where a lot of young people go wrong, because you are your own person. Like, you're going to do your own thing. You're going to get there in the end, no matter how long it's going to take you. Stop comparing yourself to other people. And another thing as well, drugs.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad we touched on that.
Drugs, it's crazy. Obviously, I don't really want to say too much because I don't know what I can say and what I can't say, but it's massive in Liverpool right now, and probably other areas in the UK. Ketamine is just absolutely destroying people, and a lot worse than the 80s and pain. And Ket is doing 10 times worse than what that has actually done over the space of 40 years. I know people who aren't even 20 years of age and they can't even go to the toilet. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's because they've got no bladder. They're basically urinating the bladder out.
I don't know the stats, but based on your experience, more and more young people are using.
Yeah. I'd even go as far to say the word pandemic, to be totally honest with you.
In Liverpool?
Well, obviously I can't speak for other areas, but from what I know of and the people I know and our city, it's rife. It's absolutely rife. It's getting cheaper and cheaper, and it's getting worse and worse.
Ketamine, like.
Yeah, ketamine. Yeah, like. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's so whatever. I really don't know, but so many people on it daily.
Those substances are a way of escaping, right?
Yeah.
So you were talking about and touching on that. Young people are not where they want to be, and there's this myth that you need to have everything by the age of 30, for example, which obviously is not true.
Yeah.
Wealth doesn't, actual solid wealth doesn't accumulate that quickly. And you can educate people as much as you want. For some reason, it doesn't go through their head, because the immediate reaction of going outside and seeing that someone has something that you don't have is a bigger impact than any education you can give to somebody. And oftentimes in places where there are high crimes, it's because of what they call relative poverty.
Okay.
So the biggest problem with the Western world, or actually a lot of places in the world now, is that you have a huge influx of wealth right next to poverty.
Yeah.
So London, Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool constantly has new rise buildings.
Yeah.
But how many of them are accessible and affordable to regular
normal
people from Liverpool?
Yeah.
So you're just driving down, or you're by the docks, and you see all this influx of wealth. And you look at your life and you might not have much.
Yeah.
But what you fail to realize is that sometimes that wealth that you see concentrated in Liverpool, London, or Manchester isn't actually even regular everyday wealth. We're talking about generations worth of money. We're talking about international investments.
Yeah.
And most importantly, something that, it goes through over everybody's head is the Western world is based on debt. It's based on credit, which started off as being a really good thing. So 70, 80 years ago, credit wasn't as vast, but it was given to people who they know could pay it back off, and it might help them buy a house or start a business.
Yeah.
Whereas credit is now just everywhere, as far as you could buy your groceries on credit these days.
Yeah.
Mortgage systems are crazy. Everyone has a credit card. Everyone has, generally speaking, a car on finance.
Yeah.
Student loans on finance, which indirectly actually makes people more and more poor.
Yeah.
By looking rich.
Yeah.
So that's my understanding of society at the moment, and you can see why escaping in one way or another in a form of addiction is so attractive to young men.
Definitely, because it's like you're saying, it's everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, there's always going to be illegal drugs. There's always going to be problems, and no matter what, but something actually, not even just Liverpool, around the country, something actually really needs to be done for young people, mainly young men, to feel like they can't speak to other people. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like being a man, just be a man. You know what I mean? Like, you're a man, just take it on the chin. Like, anyone can take it on the chin. I don't know whether you've seen it, Paddy Pimblett. Yeah, he said, I'd rather me mate cry on my shoulder than carry his coffin next week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, women go and have a chin wag, women go and sit down and have a cup of tea. Not all women. Women will go and have a cup of tea. Women will speak about things.
They'll talk about it.
Men feel like they can't do it. Men feel like, I've done it myself, just locked myself away, put it away, and it's gone. But then, years down the line, I done that all my teenage years, and it whacked me when I was in my 20s, you know what I mean? And I didn't deal with nothing growing up, pretty much. I just put it all aside. I didn't ever want to cry in front of my family, or I would, but I didn't want to. I felt like I had to be the man of the family, you know what I mean? I was always, from an early age, I had to be the man, you know what I mean? So, when I got into my early 20s, and obviously I'm maturing and stuff like that, it basically it basically hit me, and I didn't know what to do. Do you know what I mean? Because I had never dealt with it before, and I just spiraled out of control. Do you know what I mean? Pushed everyone away from me, and I feel like that's obviously led from me early teenage years, going right through my teenage years.
What you got to be careful about is, for anybody actually, men or women, is your emotions will end up coming out.
Yeah.
And they end up coming out on the people you love and spend most time with.
1,000,000%, lad, yeah. 1,000,000%. And it's them that are affected.
So it's not even always about, I want to control my mental health, so God forbid I might not want to take my own life. It's not even as far as that. It's the way you act on a daily, which adds up and can lead to breakups, divorces, stop speaking to family members, friends. It really is a bit of a epidemic, I think.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, it really is. Like, there's no need for the figures every year, and they're getting worse. It's not getting no better. You know, instead of like some of these big projects that they're building, all these, doing all these, this, that and the other, why don't you throw 50 million quid into helping young people? Put some money into funding young people who are coming through.
But can I ask you something then? I'm going to push back a bit just for the sake of the podcast. If you said to me earlier, young people want a lavish and rich lifestyle, okay? You said that was a big part of it. What's the government supposed to do about that?
No, I wouldn't say a lavish, rich lifestyle, but you've got social media everywhere now. You've got influencers who, I don't really know what that word even is. People who are just normal people who make videos on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, and they get called influencers. Someone who influences is someone who's supposed to be giving people better, like they're not doing nothing, they're just promoting products and stuff like that.
I hear you. But how does that align with the actual problems? Like, because people would say mental health charities, social work, not actual good. So if you're a young person and you're upset because you're missing certain things from your life, how can we fix that?
You probably can't fix it, to be totally honest with you, but we need to just, maybe even in school, you need to just teach people that you don't need to compare yourself to other people. Other people have better setups. Some people's mum and dads have got a bit more money than others, or, you know what I mean? Like, it was always like, for instance, I used pedal bikes growing up. Like, all the kids now are on like £2,000-3,000 bikes. Like electric bikes, you know what I mean? And like, I was on an £80 bike from Argos, a rally, or, you know, like a chopper, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, now everything, I just feel like everyone wants everything better. The nicest clothes, the nicest shoes. I don't know why. Probably because there's so many celebrities who, on social media and stuff like that, like, our nans couldn't really compare. Did you get what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't really compare to other people because there weren't this platform to see so many people around the world doing so well or not doing so well. And let's be honest, you don't post ugly pictures on your social media, do you? It's only the best. You're only putting what you want people to see. So people putting these videos and pictures up, rightly so if they're doing well. Do you know what I mean? But like you said before, people putting pictures and stuff and they're in debt. It's a car, it's a finance car.
Most of the Western system is based on debt. It's
what I'm saying.
To get into it a bit more, wealthy people have assets, their own or inherited, it doesn't matter. They have assets that they leverage against debt. Regular people, it's harder for them to live that financed by debt lifestyle because they're not, you know, their wealth isn't measured by their assets. It's measured by a paycheck. And if you're someone who respectfully lives check to check, which is the vast majority of the world, you can't compare yourself to certain people. However, if you push the lifestyle enough, you can go to certain places and look like you're that rich.
Exactly.
So it's a mentality thing. I would go a bit deeper. I'd say that young people want to look successful because it makes them feel powerful. It makes them seem more attractive. Women like that more. So it's a lot to do with that. And in a society like this, you have a lot more, and we're all adults, I can say these things. You have a lot more young men also addicted to pornography and things like this, and less young men who are actually able to put themselves into a real relationship and actually deal with a human. This is a funny example. I don't know how we got this far in life, but I remember I was just talking to a few friends, and one of the girls said, little teenagers are using words like gold diggers for other little teenagers.
Yeah.
But what do little 17 and 18-year-old boys and girls know about,
It's mad, innit?
you know,
It's mad.
like, how is the college kid the college girl supposed to take advantage of the college guy for what level of... It's become so normalized to say that women are incredibly materialistic and men must follow, and men are trash and women are trash. And I think this really does mess with the heads of
definitely,
young
yeah,
people.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000% it does, but I don't know. I just feel like something's got to be done somewhere along the line. And I said when I got home from America, if I've got to make this my life's work, then so be it.
Right.
That's from what I've seen over in America, the conversations I've had with people through Instagram. Like, I have conversations with people that I didn't ever think I'd ever have in my life. Do you know what I mean? And like, I'm just a normal lad. I'm just a normal kid. I'm no one special. But these certain people feel like they can come to me. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, some days I need other people. Do you know what I mean? But like, if these people are coming to me on Instagram and speaking to me, good, because they're speaking to someone. Do you know what I mean? So, as I said, my DMs are always open for anyone who wants to have a chat.
There must be a solution though. Like, you can't just keep saying, I don't know what we can do. Because the solution is, aren't you walking the Isle of Man again? Aren't you going to, so in your story, you're going to someone's community centre or bar?
Yeah. So, as I said,
just speak to me one-to-one.
Yeah, so as I said before about the mental health and that thing, I've obviously been donated a room in, it's called the Vibe Community Centre, through a lady called Kelly Lawton. Well, Kelly Keeley now, because she's been married. But she runs a CIC called New Horizons. And she helps, like, she puts all like community projects on and helps like lots of children. And they've donated a room to me to put this mental health thing on. And
is it just for people in Liverpool?
Anyone can come. Anyone from anywhere. Don't care where you're from. Don't care what colour you are, what you look like, how you talk. Anyone can come. You sit down. You can go and sit in the corner for an hour and just not say nothing to anyone if you want. If it's getting you out the house.
That's a big thing, by the way. Like, nature's a big thing. Like,
massive.
It rewires your brain.
That's like, so like, obviously it's literally where it's situated. There's a park just behind it. So last week we done a little walk and talk. It was obviously a nice day. Instead of sitting inside, go outside, go and have a walk, talk. We just walked around. We had a chat. But yeah, I'm walking from Liverpool to the Isle of Man, round the Isle of Man, doing the coastal path called the Way of the Gull, which is 100 miles, and then back home. I've had a man called Ian from a charity called the Daisy Inclusive who's been nominated, so I'm taking him. And also a lad called Chris Riley, who's a content creator in Liverpool, whose son's autistic. He's coming as well, bringing his son, and his missus there coming. Yeah, we're basically just, what our plan is, we're going to put a charity night on, maybe a couple of days before we go. So any small businesses, or doesn't matter whether you're small or big businesses,
can donate.
We're looking for sponsors, basically, for the equipment, the travel, our food over there, stuff like that. Basically, we'll be walking and we'll do all your promos for you. We'll give you shout outs. We'll do little clips. And obviously, you're donating to charity.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll be putting that day on. Anyone's welcome. Obviously, I'll put the details on my Instagram once it's all sorted and stuff like that, on my TikTok. Then we'll be setting off and we'll be going, and that's just like a little stepping stone to what's going to be going on in the near future.
I hear that. Now let's go back onto the incredible story of doing 2,000 miles in America. You got there, first week was fine. Now, give me the first indicator where you felt like you were just left for dead. You were now being ignored by your sponsors.
When the main man, Mustafa, he was like So they were a group. There was 4 of them, but he was the money man. What I learned, he was the money guy. When he started getting aggressive and getting frustrated, basically, as pathetic as this is, because I weren't going viral. So then that was like, I was like, why do I need to go viral? Now, at this time, I've got no editing knowledge. Didn't know how to use TikTok in the slightest. Basically doom scrolled my Instagram, didn't have, basically using my Backpack Boz page as a journal for me walks. And basically, it was, they officially actually shut shop and left me, didn't have no contact with them 1,000 miles in Memphis, which is obviously one of the most deadliest cities in America. I had no money, no nothing. I didn't have no supplies, nothing. I was walking over the Arkansas Bridge into nothingness for like 3 days. Straight, nothing. Just rural roads, nothing there. The odd church, hardly any shops, anything. And I don't know what it was. I really don't know what it was. Something. I met these 2 women. They offered to take a picture for me, and to be totally honest with you, they probably essentially saved my life, to tell you the God's honest truth, thinking about it now, like, because my pride was going to take me over that bridge into nowhere on my own with nothing, because I wanted to get it done and I wanted to go. And like I've said before, I have people from places in the world I've never even heard of offering to send me home. Send me your bank details, I'll send you the money for a flight to go home. And I was like, thank you very much, but it's not happening.
Right. But again, most people are hearing your story for the first time. So how bad must it have been for people to be offering you money? So in that moment in time, when you're trying to communicate on TikTok or Instagram, or, you know, where are you? What are you doing? Are you literally just on the streets of Memphis, for example?
Yeah, I was literally asking me, the people who were watching me, my followers, my community, basically saying, what shall I do? Like, what do I do? You know what I mean? Like, and obviously everyone was telling me to go home. Every single person. There wasn't one person that said to me, crack on and do it. And I didn't want to tell my family, didn't want to worry me mum, me nan, you know, like, so many things in life I've tried to go and do, and they haven't really been successful, or I've given myself a hard time. And one thing that I'm happy for, and this might not mean anything to anyone, but I didn't rely on anybody over there for nothing, which is probably like the first time. And that was my goal. Do you know what I mean? My goal was to just get it done, go and do it. Just keep walking one step in front of another. You're going to do it. And to be honest with you, if I would have went over that bridge, I probably would have been in a life or death situation, to be totally honest with you.
We need to explain that more again, because I know your background, but these listeners don't. What is it about this bridge? Like, where would you have ended up? Is it, like, for example, was it just a wasteland?
Yeah, just rural. So if you go on Google Maps and you zoom into the Arkansas Bridge, and you look going towards Texas, and you scroll, you look, there's nothing.
How many miles of nothing?
I think it was 3.5 days.
3.5 days?
Yeah.
So if you had tried to go on your original route, which was planned with support, but now you've lost support, you would have gone 3.5 days practically with nothing.
But I would have had supplies to go across the bridge with, to live for 3 days: food, water, tent, hammock.
But the reality is, you didn't.
I didn't have nothing. I had nothing. I had my bag on with my clothes, my charger pack, stuff like that. But I didn't have nothing.
Right.
I had nothing. Not even that. I didn't even have that much water.
The thing is, right, physically and mentally, you're probably already drained anyway. How many days are you in? 10 days?
No, this is 1,000 miles in Memphis when they officially shut shop, and I couldn't even get hold of them. Halfway, yeah. But I was already over me. So I had 56 days to do it. And I think it was like day 32 or day 33. So obviously I'm past halfway in my time, but I'm only halfway in miles. So then I had to make a decision then. I'm not going to SpaceX no more. That's gone. I've just got to get the airport in Brownsville in Texas. So where Brownsville in Texas is there, I was essentially doing this going past it to go down onto the coast, and then I was going to come back up on the bike. Do you know what I mean? Essentially, I was walking past to come back, so I scrapped that. I don't need to go there. I need to get to the plane. My plane is leaving on this day at this time. How am I going to get there? It's not about the walk no more. It's about living. It's about surviving.
So what was a journey for mental health, a journey of taking a challenge of 2,000 miles, became a journey of survival?
Basically, mate, yeah. Basically.
And no one wanted to turn it into a reality TV show?
If anyone wants to message me, Shelf or Lazo, we're happy to do it. I've got the stories, I've got the content.
No,
do you know what I mean?
Listen, I'm sorry I'm making light of the situation.
No, it's got to be made light of, and why I'm coming here today essentially is because I've put it off for so long. You know what I mean? I've had some people will call them opportunities to do it, and I didn't want to, you know what I mean? Like, I probably weren't in the right headspace, but like now, I don't want them to do that to anyone else. I don't want anyone to be in that situation. Like, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, lad. I really, really wouldn't. Like, the mental, some people wouldn't have come home. And that's like, it's a testament to me, myself, do you know what I mean? For the strength, the determination and the grit that I had I knew I needed to do it. Because if I would have come home and they would have defeated me, my mental health would have just burst open when I got home. I would have just spiraled out of control. And you know yourself better than anyone else, you know what I mean? And I thought, this is my chance to actually make a difference, not only to the world, but for me, my own mental strength, my own, you know what I mean? I haven't really ever thought very highly of myself until after that. And I thought, you know what, like, hats off to you, lad, I suppose, you know what I mean? Because it's unbelievable. And the fact it's not just walking across America 2,000 miles, the stuff that happened in between just made it like, it's a movie. Do you know what I mean? It's literally a movie.
We could keep talking about the negative aspect, and we will finish the story. But the first 10 days in particular, like, you must have really enjoyed it. It's not every day you get to go on a huge journey to help people. And I wouldn't say, I'm sure people have walked more than 2,000 miles before.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
But it's still like maybe 1% of the world, less than that.
Probably less.
So what was really nice about it, like, I'm not an outdoorsy person.
Okay.
If you were to try and convince someone to go on these long walks, even if it wasn't for charity, just a way to explore a landscape, why should they do that?
Just being out in Mother Nature, and I feel like walking. I wasn't a big walker, believe it or not, before.
I don't believe it.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm surprised you didn't walk here today. Boz called me, he was like, I'm getting a lift. Boz, what do you mean?
Do you mean you're not walking, lad?
What do you mean you're not walking?
I was lucky enough to get a lift, but yeah, I would have had to shut off bells this morning, but I just feel like it's a good way to just reset your mind, to just, like, I feel, I don't know, like, you use your brain when you've got to put yourself, if you're on your own and you go for a walk, you've got no headphones or nothing in, and you're just walking, you're just seeing everything, you're listening to the birds, you're listening to everything. It's just peaceful, it's nice, and I feel like you deal with things that you don't know you need to deal with.
Or, actually, I'll take it a step further. You know, when you're out in nature in the natural way, a lot of the things that are echoing in your mind that are a problem, all of a sudden are not.
Yeah.
Because that natural greenery, the sunlight, we don't always have much of that, but even the rain, you know, it is calming. If you allow yourself to have a few minutes outside, 30 minutes, just to take in life, instead of being around four walls and thinking about your problems all the time. Because I think that's one of the biggest problems, and they have, you know, a while ago, they scientifically proven that the more you think about your problems, the bigger it gets.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
The more your stress levels rise, and being out in the world as well helps you see the world for what it is, which is so much bigger than your social media screen.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? I've been blessed with social media to connect with people like yourself
Yeah,
and have all these guests that I would have loved to have on anyway. So it can still be consuming though.
yeah, definitely.
It's not normal to constantly live around these massive skyscrapers.
That's it, exactly.
know?
And like, if you are from a city, there's just so much going on, and there's just like everything's just hustle and bustle. And you know, you've been to London, everyone's in a rush. Everyone's in a rush to do nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're all doing the same thing in our own little worlds, in our own other little ways. Like, just take a breath, even if it's once a month, just go. Even if you're not a walker, if you're able to, I advise you to just get up, go out and go for a walk. Like, I used to hate the rain. This is mad, but I love walking in the rain or running in the rain, and I mean torrential rain.
And can I just say as well, the only place in the UK that I've experienced that has worse rain in Manchester is Liverpool.
Yeah, it is, lad.
I remember one
it's
time,
awful.
I was living in the accommodation right next to Liverpool Lime Street, and then I used to go to John Moore, so I was going to the SLB. I'm sure you know it. That distance is a minute walk. I could run it in 20. Bro, I was drenched.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
it's a weird part of the world, it really is.
It feels personal when it rains in Liverpool. It feels like it's not just rain.
I feel like everyone thinks like that, to be honest with you, lad. It just affects everything, doesn't it? But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I do it often, but like, that was me, like, probably one of my favourite parts was walking through the storms, the tornadoes, the rainstorms, I love a little bit of danger anyway, you know what I mean?
I'm not letting you gloss over that. How can he casually say, I loved walking into...
Honestly.
Like, Boz says some really weird things that are meant to be normal to everybody else. Like, what do you mean? I walked through tornadoes. Yeah, I've seen a lot of movies. You get spun in them.
As I say, I'll have to send you some footage in that. I basically had a warning on my phone. Come up, beep, 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 get down in your basement, your bathtub, this, that and the other. And I was in the middle of nowhere on a road with about 6 hours still to walk. And this thing come up on my phone, like the weather warning thing, and it was basically a tornado in my area. So I'm just carried on walking, it is what it is. Now it starts raining, it starts getting really, really windy, starts getting like torrential, soaking to the bone. And looks behind me, and no word of a lie, I've got the footage. It was coming. It was like a couple of miles really, really behind me, but I'm walking. This is Mother Nature, and I'm walking and walking and walking. Still at this point, didn't understand how serious the situation was. Just oblivious, walking, soaking wet, and I hadn't seen a car for hours. That's how rural I was. And this pickup truck just pulled over in front of me, stopped me, pulled over, get in. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, get in. I'm like, nah. I'm walking across America for charity. I can't get in. I'm walking. We've got to be done by foot.
You can. I mean, it's life and death at this
point. But then I didn't know, you know what I mean? And this is a fella's construction workers fault. There was no room for me to get in. I'm like, no, I'm good. And he was like, brother, I'm not leaving you here. There's a tornado 4 miles behind us. You will die. And I was like, no, lad, I'll be all right. Long story short, ends up getting anyway, got in the car. The fella moved over to sit on the handbrake so I could get in the passenger seat next to him. I only had about 4 miles left to go, so they took me to the 4 miles because they were going back to the city. It was called Bristol, which was where the border of Virginia and Tennessee was. I've got to this place and it was like I was on a movie set of a film. There was cars driving around with air horns, like a war was about to happen. People were running around like lunatics, cars were flying everywhere. The electric went off, everywhere went pitch black. I was stood outside the motel trying to check in, and the signal went down on the electrics and the card machine and stuff. Basically, I had to sit in the reception of a motel and wait for it all to blow over.
At least you were
indoors, but if it weren't, I would have definitely got caught in it if that fella never pulled over in the car. And obviously I didn't understand until later, and I was like, wow,
Do you think if you had been caught in it, you would have still been trying to walk? Or
1 million
would you have
percent.
been on TikTok
1
live?
million percent I would have gone live on TikTok.
Boz here in a tornado.
It might have made me some money, to be honest with you, to get me out of there, do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it was, that wasn't even the worst bit of weather, to be honest with you. And I might be wrong here, but I'm led to believe it was the coldest winter in 55 years in America that I decided to go and do it. When I got there, the snow was like 3 foot deep. My first day
When you
walking.
first landed?
Yeah. It was like really, really, really cold.
You landed in Washington, right?
Yeah.
Is this just in case Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, Washington, D.C. So I left from outside the White House. That was my starting point. And I left on the 16th of January. I started the walk.
Do you have the videos?
I've got thousands. I've got all kinds. Absolutely all kinds.
I'm doing some stats and stuff like that. I'm kind of looking at your journey, and you're walking like a good 25% of the American border here. Like, I'm talking about the circumference.
It's literally, so from where I live in Liverpool, it's like walking from my house to Rome and home. That's how far it is. Yeah, and home. 1,000 miles to Rome and back. That's how far it is, just to give people a little bit of a insight.
It's a 5-hour flight.
Yeah. It's far, lad. Yeah. It's very, very far. I really don't know what possessed me to go, I'll go and do it. I really don't know, lad, but believe it or not, I'm going to go and do it again. 1,000,000% it's getting done again.
Oh, mate, I don't know what to say to that.
But I won't be doing it in January to March next time. It'll be in the summer.
Yeah, well, do you know how earlier I made you get the lift to go up to floor 1? I'm not coming, Boz. don't even tag me.
No, but lad, it's
Listen, I'll do a lot of things. That's just not one of them.
Yeah.
But I respect it. I respect that you did it and you've been on that journey. And that's why I wanted you to kind of go over the happier moments. Because look, at the end of the day, you made it out.
Yeah.
Right? You made it and you have a story now that can be shared everywhere.
And no one else has done it. There's not a single person. And I'll hold my hands up. And like I've said before, I'm happy to be humbled. If someone watches this and they've done that in a pair of Crocs, let me know. But the research I've done, there's nobody on record that's walked across America in a pair of Crocs ever in history.
There's a video of Boz showing everybody his Crocs, and it's so worn out.
I literally walked the soles off them. There's a video on me TikTok and me Instagram, Backpack Boz _ go through them and you'll find it. It's literally, there's like a hole in the bottom there, what I had for days, and I had that for days because I couldn't find no other Crocs.
Yeah. No, I'll put all this into the clips, but let's go back to the main reason why we're here today, which is men's mental health, and it is June. So I want to roll off a few stats for all of you all. 3 out of 4 people who decide to end their own life are male. 75% of that action in the UK is done by males.
Yeah.
Men are less likely to ask for help, and only 36% of referrals to NHS talking therapies are men. And we had a therapist on this podcast a few episodes ago, and we did talk about this, and 40% of men have never spoken to anyone about their mental health. In a UK survey, 4 in 10 men said they had never discussed their mental health with anybody. And the biggest reported cause of poor mental health amongst men, 32% work, 31% finances, 23% physical health. And I'm going to expand on all of that now. People are unemployed at higher levels than we've ever seen in the UK. Young people are heavily unemployed. They're not sure what to do with their skills anymore. AI is coming very quickly. Finances. Everyone in the UK feels underpaid, if we're being honest. We saw NHS workers saying they need more. People who work on the tube in London, they want more. Builders want more. Mate, it's a mess. and then physical health. And now that ties into two different things. Gym might be a big hype, right? But I feel like there's actually less people exercising in a way that, how do I put this? Aesthetically shaping your body is amazing.
Yeah.
It really is. But getting your heart pumping for longevity and having your lungs working well isn't something that everybody does.
Yeah.
A step further and say the food we're consuming is not good for our health.
It's the worst it's ever been.
And a lot of what we pick up on the shelves are just not.
It's not even food.
Yeah, I would encourage all of you to listen to my podcast with Eleanor Hof, where we talked about nutrition.
Okay.
And someone who's really big in the industry, and she said that, she was like, the amount of unnatural food we're consuming.
Yeah.
So if you look at today's day and age in the UK in 2026, people are struggling with finances.
Yeah.
They don't like their jobs.
Yeah.
They're not really consuming natural food.
Yeah.
And their mental health is shattered.
There's no wonder. It's literally, it makes sense. Yeah. As sad as it is, it literally makes sense because, like, so many people, I don't want people to watch this and take like doom and gloom or nothing from it. Like, I don't want, like, what I want people to, my personal opinion, people to watch it and see and just think like, we're two men, we're essentially strangers. We've met obviously online. We're sat here and having a normal conversation. And I guarantee you now, I know I will, I'll go home and feel 10 times better than what I did this morning.
Yeah.
Just from a simple chat. It's literally that easy.
This whole thing started with a simple chat. Your friend,
yeah,
who had a simple chat with me,
yeah,
told me about yourself, and it led to this podcast. And I've had that experience so many times. Like, I have had not just Boz, but other people on this podcast just through one conversation in person. Like, a conversation can do a lot for you. It doesn't even have to be a podcast guest, man. It could be your next job. It could be your next hobby.
Anything. Yeah. A conversation literally can change your life. Yeah. It can literally change your life.
You have to be willing to have it though.
That's it. You've got to just like be open. Obviously, I'm like, some people would say a social butterfly, like I'll speak to anyone or whatever, but I have my days where I just don't even want to see anybody ever again. Just don't want, you know what I mean? And I feel like there's lots of people that probably go through that, but them days, just message someone and ask them how they are. Or I used compliment a stranger. I use that a lot because if you're walking down the street and you're having a bad day and someone says to you, "Oh, it's a nice jacket, mate," or just anything, anything so simple, or like, do you know what I mean? It's literally gonna change your day. Just so if everybody just puts out a little bit of positivity, the world will be a better place. Like, literally just one day, like, just do something. Hold the door open for someone that you wouldn't normally do, or, you know, like, help an old lady cross the street or anything. Even, do you know what's a mad thing I'm going to use? Like, bins. People don't need, like, go and take someone's bin out for them or something. Like, I live in a block, and sometimes people come down and take their own bin out. There's 7 bins there. Take them all out. Like, you're taking your own bin out. Why are you not taking ours out? If you're going down to do it, every time I go down, I'll take every bin out. Why are you do you know what I mean? There's like, if that one person who's doing that changes that, the world will be better. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know it's never going to be boss and perfect, but just be nice, be kind. You don't know what people are going through.
A lot of the people that I've had on this podcast, even because we don't just talk about mental health, as the listeners will know, we talk about anything really, and we have all types of guests, but a lot of them always say that. Like, it will randomly come out of nowhere. I can be sat with a music artist and I'll just talk about the importance of kindness. And
really though?
And I've said it as well, like, you know, it opens doors for you. Like, if I would advise any people listening right now, whatever age or gender, one of the best ways to have good social connections is to be the person that people feel good around. And by that, I don't mean for hours, just for a few minutes. You had a conversation with Lazo or Boz and you left that conversation feeling good. You know, that makes all the difference in the world. So if you can be just that bit positive,
Yeah.
people will like you more.
Just 1%. You don't need to. I'm not like you don't need to be over the. Just be nice. Even if you're having a bad day or you've had no sleep, or just be nice. No, I'm not always nice. You know what I mean? And not everyone is, but just be nice. Just be kind. Like care for other people instead of doing your own thing and going your own way. And people don't even. A big thing I use now, which I've seen massively since using social media and trying to do what I'm trying to do. People will like reshare or repost. For instance, Molly May and Tommy Fury having a baby. Like they don't know them. Like I'm not being judgy. Do what you want to do, but then don't scroll past my thing as my friend and don't even like or leave a comment. Now I understand people who don't do social media don't understand the algorithm, or do you know what I mean? I'm only just learning it myself, but a comment and a share and a repost literally goes so far. Like it's free. You post funny videos on your story or celebrities, this, that, and the other. Why do people scroll? Like I post certain things, even like you go on my last 3 posts where I've only just started posting again. There's people who are my friends who haven't even liked it.
I will defend them on one thing here. Instagram usually rolls out your content to people who don't follow you.
I know, but
because they're trying to get the engagement up a bit.
But regardless, though, you're liking my story of me posting that post on my story, but you're not going onto my post to like the post.
It takes a lot of finger energy, and some people are lazy. But
not good enough.
I'd take it a step further, man. Like for me, bro, I'm just chilled.
Yeah, yeah.
What if I told you, in that sense, I just don't care.
But I'm trying to do something good, so why would you not support it?
I hear you, and I have, people like you on the podcast all the time, and I used to think the same thing. Like, why, if I know 20 people, why aren't there 20 shares? Well, I personally don't care. That's the only advice I'd give you.
It's not that I care. It's just like, all right, Sean. Well, yeah, actually, I do care, because if my post there and I'm trying to do this, right? There's people who have lost people to what I'm trying to do. Yeah. So I'm trying to do something that you felt pain from, that you don't want to really feel. You don't want to go through it, whatever. It doesn't, but then you'll share a rapper's story on your story. I'm not even asking for a share or just to engage. Like, I don't know, I feel like I'm moaning about it, but it doesn't take much, do you know what I mean? If you're not a big user of social media, just like it and comment on it. There's something, do you know what I mean? Or like no one, I don't know, but I just really feel like you should be supporting
the people
your
around
friends.
You. Okay. Let's now take this conversation back to Memphis. Because you had some stories when you were in Memphis. Yeah. And it's a really dangerous place. Yeah. One of the most dangerous places in America. And you are walking around homeless in Memphis.
Literally walking in Memphis.
Yeah. Take it away.
So basically, leading up to get there was controversy with them. Like I knew it was going to happen.
And you're talking about the people that were...
The sponsors.
Yeah. The charity.
The charity, yeah. So I knew it was coming, do you know what I mean? And like I could feel... I didn't know they were actually going to leave me. But like I'm arguing with them and that now, and like I need this, I need that. Why haven't you gone viral? You're not doing this, you're not doing that. So...
Why did they... I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused about these guys. Why did they choose someone who didn't really have a background in social media?
You tell me, lad, your guess is as good as mine. I've literally got no idea. Because my first instant reaction was, but I'm not going to go viral over there. I know I'm not going to go viral because I don't necessarily have the skills. I don't know what I'm doing.
You're not even really on social media.
I literally didn't have TikTok. I made TikTok to go over there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd never used it. I'd never edited a video in my life. I'd never gone live. I'd never done any of that, and they knew all this. Do Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. I still think about it now, to be honest. I've literally got no idea. Why would you invest that much money into someone? Because I think they just had in their head, because of what I was doing, I was going to post a video over there and people were going to be like, whoa, look at this lad walking 2,000 miles across America. Doesn't work like that.
That is a big deal though.
It is a big deal. And to be honest with you, it probably should have gone viral. Like, it probably should have. But as I say, I weren't going for that. To be honest with you, probably I'd rather have not have gone viral. I'd rather have for like awareness and donations and support. But me personally, it's not my cup of tea, do you know what I mean?
Listen, it is still mad though. It's not every day you sit with someone who says, I walked 2,000 miles across America in a pair of Crocs from Washington to Brownsville, Texas. And in between, I lost all my funding. I almost got mugged. I almost got eaten up by a tornado. I ran out of money. And I met a really great Donnie who saved my life, who was I've forgotten a bit of the story. The guy with the store with the llama and the name of it. And the two ladies that saved your life as well. Yeah. You know what, Boz? You should write a book.
You're probably like the 1,000th person who said that to me.
So why haven't you done it?
Probably because I'm riddled in ADHD and I wouldn't be able to sit there and...
I don't like that excuse.
I wouldn't be able to... No, that's not an excuse. That's just me telling you the truth. I would not be able to sit there and write. Do
you know what it is? Can I tell you the truth about... So, okay, I'm pretty certain I have ADHD. I remember doing a psychological test where they said if you score above 45, we're going to take you to a speech therapist and you're going to be diagnosed. I didn't need to be diagnosed, mate. I knew how static and how like erratic my brain was. So I could probably say 99% I have ADHD. But one thing I have realized about it is when you're doing something you want to do, you will not procrastinate it. I don't procrastinate the podcast, but I procrastinate a lot of things in my life. So I think maybe right now you just, for whatever reason, don't want to write a book.
Probably.
But there are things you do want to do, like going on long walks again.
Yeah.
But anyways, Memphis story, you went off on a tangent.
So Memphis, when I was in Memphis, it was basically do or die. Either they would go home from here.
What made you think like that? Because they officially cut you off?
Yeah, I couldn't get hold of them.
But that wasn't possible, right? If you had no money, how are you getting home?
Exactly, but I had people in my DMs saying to me, send me your bank details, I'll send you 600 quid for a flight right now. And it was like, I remember being stood there and I was looking over the bridge, and then I looked back and I thought, I'm never going to be here ever again, probably ever in my life. Go and have a good day, go and enjoy Memphis, go and have a look around. Forget about the walk for a minute. You're stuck, you're essentially stuck. Go and enjoy your day. You haven't really stopped and done that. Let's try and work out what we're going to do, you know what I mean? Like, let's have a little think for the day. And at least if it was worst case scenario, I could have just rang home, for instance, and asked my mum to buy me a motel in Memphis for the night while I was deciding what I was going to do, or waiting for them to contact me back. Because in my head, I'm thinking, surely they haven't, like, they're not gone. They haven't left me here. They know where I am. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I had trust in them. I'd put all my trust in them, my whole life trust in them. And it was like, surely they're not going to leave. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they know I've got no food. They know I've got no money. They know I've got nowhere to go. Surely not. But they did. Do you know what I mean? So I went about my day. I asked my followers, what shall I go and do? People give me loads of little things, places to go to. And two ladies, Julie and a friend, basically offered to take a picture of me at the Memphis sign. We got talking, obviously told them what I was doing. And Julie had wanted to be, she said, a childhood dream was to be a tour guide in Memphis. Can you make my childhood dream come through and let me take you out all day? So I was like, well, I've got to get a move on before it gets dark because I don't know where I'm going to stay once I'm over the bridge. But yeah, come on, let's go. Screw it, you know what I mean? It is what it is. So we got in her car, she took me to Justin Timberlake's house, Elvis Presley's house, his hotel. He took me for Tennessee barbecue brisket, proper smokehouse. Didn't let me pay for a thing. And then essentially we come out the restaurant and got in the car and she basically said to me, I'm not leaving you here. It's not happening. There's no way I can go home tonight and go to bed knowing I've left you here. Knowing what they knew. Do you know what I mean? Because I told them like the situation I was in. And
knowing that you've been abandoned.
Yeah.
And you have no money or food. And you're still trying to finish the last 1,800 miles.
Yeah. Yeah, so I still had 1,000 miles and I think I had 24 days to do it, which is not even human. It's not possible. Bearing in mind, obviously, the last 500 miles were supposed to be by bike anyway.
Yeah.
So I had a decision to make. Was I just gonna hope that they contacted me back, which they hadn't done for days, probably days. I hadn't had no money off them for days or nothing. So it was like, what do you actually do? What's the sensible thing to do here? You can take the help of this lady who was essentially saying, I'm putting you on a bus to get you as close as I possibly can to where you're satisfied and I'm satisfied that I know you're going to be safe where you're closer to the airport, and at least then your 500 miles on the bike have been done by coach and we give you a little bit of time to walk the rest of the way.
Was that San Antonio?
San Antonio. So basically I tried them, rang while I'm on my way. She was like, I'm going to the coach station. You're not getting out of my car. She wouldn't let me. And she basically took me to the coach station. They both got out the car and they were like, come on, we're going to get a bus ticket. Now, like I'm saying again, like about being a man, my pride, I'm like, I can't let these two women buy me a bus ticket. I can't let it happen. I can't let it happen. I'm saying, no, it's not happening.
Because do you feel like you're failing the challenges?
It's just pride, innit? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to get on that coach, lad. I didn't want to get on the coach, but I knew I had to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I knew I had to. If it didn't, I don't know what would have happened. I genuinely don't know what would have happened. I couldn't tell you. So yeah, we got to this screen to like book the ticket, and still to this day, I don't know how I'll ever pay it back. I really don't know, but the bus ticket come to like $180, lad. And there was not a single question, hesitation, nothing. Bang, 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 paid for it, done. And I was just like, I can't give you that. And she was like, I don't want nothing. That $180 is me going home and being able to sleep tonight knowing I haven't just left a poor lad stranded, basically to die.
In a foreign
country, 6,000 miles away from home. Yeah. So this is the first time I'm announcing this as well. No one even knows. So I got on the coach. This is obviously where I've stopped the story on my social medias and that. I got on the coach and I cried my eyes out for about 2 hours because I'd failed. I felt like I'd failed, you know what I mean? This is a reason why I no longer judge a book by its cover, because there was a man on the back of this coach and he looked like you would have bet you're alive.
What does that even mean?
He was a scary looking fella. He was tattoos all over him. What I'd call a gangbanger. Like a gangster type of looking fella. Baldy head, tattoos all over him, Hispanic fella. And he basically come and sat next to me. There was 40 seats on the coach available. And he just come over and sat next to me. And I absolutely soiled my pants. Obviously, I've got my head down and I'm just hysterical crying. And he just come sat next to me. And he just put his arm around me. Give me a bottle of water. And he was like, what's the matter? And I was like, looked at him and thought, Like, what? Like, just like looked over, was like, well, I was like, bro, I'm good. And he's like, no, you're not good. Like, what's the matter? What are you crying for, bro? I was like, should I'm walking, told him, blah, 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 blah. And he just grabbed me and pulled me head into his chest and gave me a big hug. Didn't say nothing, lad. And just stood up and went and sat back in the seat. And I just stopped crying. And like, the whole journey I was on the coach, I just kept looking at him, he kept looking at me. He got off the last, like, where I was getting off the coach, 2 stops before, we were like getting off for a break. And he come over to me, he was like, he'd just lost his son. His 18-month-old son had died. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks before. And he was going back to Mexico because he couldn't basically handle the pain, and he wanted to be back by his family and stuff like that. So, and he basically, what he said to me, he was like, you've already passed, you've already done it. You haven't failed just because you've got on this coach. If you never got on this coach, you'd probably be dead. So where's the line that you draw between pride and being sensible?
Can I ask you something though, like, does that also make you feel grateful, like in comparison that, okay, you could have struggled or died walking, but he lost an 18-month. That makes your struggle seem a bit, respectfully.
I didn't want to say it, but it sort of made me feel a bit better, like, not better, like obviously that he
grateful, that's the word.
Grateful, that's the word. Like, I was like, right, okay, time to suck it.
Like, there's bigger things.
Yeah, suck it up now, lad. Yeah. It's like, it's tough, you know what I mean? It's happened.
Been sent help. Listen, I don't know how religious you are, God, the universe, they sent you help, bro.
1,000,000%.
And there's another guy we'll talk about as well. So you were sent everything, and you're here, and it's not easy to deal with. And I sensed earlier you're emotional, and why wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes those moments in life give you perspective.
Yeah,
and
that's definitely right, lad. Yeah, definitely. Because, like I said, it literally, not that I was a judgmental person before it or nothing, but just the fact that when I looked up and looked at him, I genuinely thought he was going to rob me. I thought I was getting it, you know what I mean? Not that I had anything to rob, but just from looking at him, do you know what I mean? And that's why I literally, I don't judge a book by its cover no more, because he literally had nothing but good intentions.
Yeah.
And I judged him by the way that he looked.
A lot of people do that. Listen, at the end of the day, you don't know what anyone is going through. No one knows what you're going through, but strangers sometimes are the best people to share things with.
1,000,000%.
You know, having a podcast, a lot of people do say a lot of things to me. They bring me their stories. I keep it to myself, of course. But it's interesting, the type of stuff that people go through, like things that your brain can't even fathom. Because as humans, we live in our own little bubbles with our problems and our issues and our needs.
Yeah.
You get out there.
And you really find out, like, obviously, people go on holiday and that to America and that. I want to go on holiday to America. It wasn't like a holiday. I didn't see that, you know what I mean? I didn't spend time in many, like, places, like, on holiday, you know what I mean? So, I seen America for what it was. I seen the people for what they were. I seen the back streets. I walked through the Appalachian Mountains and met people that looked like, again, like, scary. They don't have, this sounds crazy, but they don't have laws in them mountains and places. Like, they govern themselves. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's like, once you're out there, you're out there. There's literally no going back. Like I said on the last podcast, like the third day, I nearly got shot by a farmer because my maps, I'm just following my map, and it took me across this big open bit of land, and there was like a house and a house. And as I've got to, I'm thinking, yeah,
were you like technically trespassing without realizing?
Yeah, I was in between two people's houses.
Were they arguing about who gets to shoot you?
No, he didn't. He literally, I'm walking down a path, I'm live. So I'm like this, and someone's like, there's a car following you, boss. Now this big driveway is like probably a quarter of a mile long, let's say. I'm walking down this driveway. At this point, I knew I was on someone's property, but I couldn't do nothing. I just had to walk, do you know what I mean? Walk through. 2 big, massive houses it was. And I could hear the phone connected to the car. Ringing, and I'm thinking, what's going to happen to me here? Your brain's going crazy. This is only day 3, and I've got out the thing, and it was a woman. It was a woman driving the car, and she'd obviously rang her husband. Now her husband pulled up in this big pickup truck and just literally went like that and just put a gun on the window and started screaming at me, basically. What the hell are you doing on me property? He'd lived there for 39 years and no one had ever walked across his land.
How did you rationalize? How did you explain to him, I'm not trespassing, I'm not here, like, please don't shoot me type
basically, vibe? I think it was my accent as well that instantly sort of...
Well, he couldn't understand.
No, but I feel like if I was American, I feel like it would have been a completely different scenario. But obviously, I've obviously been like, instantly like, I'm sorry, I'm live. I've think older, I'm like, I'm sorry, I said, like, I'm walking across America and raising money for men's mental health. He's screaming at me, he doesn't care. He didn't care. Blah, 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 blah. He's like screaming, I'm screaming back at him, panicking, like, lad, I haven't meant it, I do apologise, blah, 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 blah. And then he just put his window up and sort of screeched off. And about 2 minutes later, a police car pulled up. Now I'm in the middle of nowhere, do you know what I mean? It was literally like little shanties, like little huts, like little mini houses, like what we'd call caravans in Wales, but they were wooden, do you know what I mean? Like it was like a little trailer parky type of thing. And he basically pulled up and he was like, jumped out the car, basically ran at me. He's like, what are you doing? And I was, same thing again. What's going on? He's like, have you got any ID? I'm like, yeah, give him my passport. Give him my passport, and he's like, okay, realised I was obviously British, told him what I was doing, and he was like, basically, mate, you need to get out of here. Because he was saying to me, I need to take it, and I was saying, I'm not getting in your car, I'm walking, I've got to walk, I can't get in a car, you know what I mean? I don't want to get in the car, I can't get in the car. It's not part of the mission type of thing. And he went, basically, if you don't get in my car now, and I leave you here, he's going to come back and he's going to shoot you. That's what's going to happen. You've just walked across his land. And now to me and you, as British people, you can't quite understand, like, so what? Like, I apologise. I am so sorry. It's a mistake. I'm not there no more. The fella wanted to kill me, lad. He genuinely wanted to kill me. So the busy's like, I can't leave you here. You've got to get in the car. Basically, I've got in the car, police car, and he just drove me to a little bit further up to safety. It happened 3 times to me with the police. Nearly got arrested 3 times. The second time was, I was on the interstate on the hard shoulder, and I was just walking, as I was for most of the journey on the hard shoulder of the motorway. And blues with a siren behind me, one of the ones with the big curly hats, the circle hats. Sheriff, that's the word. He was an absolute beep. I won't swear. He wasn't very pleasant at all. Basically, he terrorised the life out of me, basically. I don't care, you're walking across America to raise money. I'm in work till 6 a.m. up and down this interstate. If I see you on here again at any part of the night, you're going to jail. So I was like, really? Like, you're being serious here, mate? Like, what do you want me to do? Where do we go? Like, can you put me in your car now then and like drop me off where I can get onto an adjacent road to follow the motorway? Do you know what I mean? No, I've got no space in my car. So I'm like, right, okay, so you're telling me I can't carry on walking further to get off the motorway, but I can't get in your car to get off the motorway. What do you want me to do? He goes, there was like a little bit of a woods at the side of me, on the side of following the motorway. He's like, you go through there, it's pitch black, bear in mind. You go through there and you walk through, follow the path, and you'll come out onto a road on the other side of the woods, which follows this interstate right to the end where you're going for your motel. So I'm like, right, okay. I'm in Crocs, you know, mate. And he went, that's a you problem. I said, you're sending me through the woods at 9 o'clock in the night, pitch black, in me Crocs, with a 40-kilo bag on me back. And I've got to go down. I said, mate, come on. I said, surely, I've been walking for 3 weeks on the hard shoulder of on the interstate from Washington. I've been fine. Surely you can let me walk another 500 yards to get down off it. Do you know what I mean? He's like, no, that's the way you go, and if you don't like it, we'll go to jail. So I was like, bear in mind, he's like right in my face, screaming at me. So I was like, sound, okay, you want me to go down there? I'll go down there, not a problem. So as he got off, as he's getting back in his car, and he's opened his door, he goes to me, oh yeah, by the way, it's coyote territory, and just shut his door. And I'm like, has he really just done that? What an absolute thing, yo. So
wait, so then when did you actually go through the woods, or?
I had to sort of, I didn't go where he told me to, because it was like a big drop down to like follow it. So I sort of tightened my bag, because I knew he was going to go up and come back to check whether I was still walking. So I ran as fast as I could with my bag on to get to where I wanted to get that. Like there was like a
left turn.
Yeah, but it was like concrete. You could, and I slid down it on my bum. And there was a road. It was like a bridge road underneath, and I slid down onto that road. And obviously I've walked to get to the following road, got on that road and started walking. Now there's nothing. The motorway's to the left through the woods, and there's literally vast land of nothing with a hut, like an old workshop, like a barn. It's pitch black. I cannot see a thing. Nothing. I've got my phone light on, my head torch, and it's that dark because it's so open.
Yeah.
The head torch weren't doing much, do you know what I mean? I could literally see me Crocs in front of me, and something, still to this day, I couldn't tell you what it was. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It sounded like a dog that had had babies with a cheetah. And it was like, looked like a hyena, but like, it was like a bobcat. It was more like a bobcat. Have you seen the viral video of the fella walking in the mountains?
Yeah.
And the bobcat, like, and it skids at him.
Probably just was like a puma or a bobcat. Something.
It was something, it was, I've never seen anything like it in
and it would have been night as well. So.
It was pitch black, and
you're lucky it didn't want to eat you.
It attacked me. I've got on my Crocs, there's marks on my Crocs where I was kicking it. It was coming at me. I've got a video on my phone as well. I'll try and find it for you. It was like, I can't really explain it. It was like it was trying to intimidate me.
Yeah, that's what animals do.
Yeah, it was like juddering at me. But I'm like, obviously, I'm making myself big. I'm screaming. I'm trying to look for something to throw at it or anything. Do you know what I mean? I had a penknife that I had on me for like my food, cooking and stuff like that. And I was trying to find my penknife. Don't know what I was going to do with it, but that was my only like thing. I was trying to find like branches, you know, like that had snapped off the trees next to me. But I also didn't want to go by the trees because I didn't want it to drag me in. You know what I mean?
I hear that.
So this is coming at me. I'm screaming, doing crazy what I can. And it was just coming at me. And I ended up like booting, like not booting it, but like trying to keep my distance with my feet. And it was like it come at me. And I've got like marks on my Crocs there where what obviously must have been its teeth has like scraped and took foam off the Croc. So I ended up undoing me bag from round me and like swinging me bag off that shoulder to sort of use me bag. Do you get what I'm saying? And like thing go the way, but I started doing all like scream. I was screeching. Do you know what I mean? Like a high pitched screech. And because someone told me a couple of days before, to make yourself big and to do like a loud pitch noise. I don't know why, I've got no idea, but I've done it. And I was doing it, but I'm walking backwards. Do you know what I mean? And this was coming after me. I couldn't see it, I could only see its eyes glowing up in the dark properly. Do you know what I mean? And then, out of nowhere, bang, just disappeared, went out of nothing, and just heard all crazy bushes and screeching. And I probably walked backwards for about a mile because I didn't want to turn around because I was scared it was just going to grab me from behind.
Listen,
you know
that's
what I mean?
scary. Like, most people are scared of dogs, let alone...
That's the scariest thing that's happened to me in my whole life, by a long mile.
And you almost got taken in by a tornado, so that's saying something.
Yeah. But it was... Never want to be in a situation like that ever again anyway, I'll put it that way. Never want to have to fight a wild animal, ever.
Well, listen, when you start walking across countries, you probably bump into... I feel like, respectfully, between yourself and the guys at the charity, there wasn't that much thinking done.
There was no thinking done from like...
No, because your routes were intersecting with private land, highways. They hadn't... I don't know who these guys were, but I feel like they just fell for the hype of he must go viral.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was, mate. And like, obviously, the only thing that was given... It sounds stupid now, saying it like that. It sounds really stupid, but they got me trust and they literally... The best way I can put it is they believed they were trying to achieve what I was trying to do without the money, if that makes sense. So like, the actual thing was to go to America and walk across America, but give back, stop in every state and do charity work, help people out, give them donations, burn supplies, just helping hand. Like, I was going into libraries and like helping them, the old women in the libraries, move stuff, just things as simple as that. Restocking, like moving the books to different places and going into like domestic women and children, domestic violence shelters, and buying them like toothbrushes and toothpastes and loads of work with the homeless, buying them food and clothes, coats, sleeping bags. And it was about 9 days, 10 days in, and this is when I started to think, and I started to say to me mate who was at home, Tyler, something's not right here, lad. Something's not right, lad, because I was researching and networking and contacting people over there of places where I was going to be walking through to like organise me coming to do a little donation day or a charity day, or is there anything you actually need? Like, I contacted the centre in Virginia, and there'd been a hurricane or something in Virginia a couple of years before or something, and people were still, like, they lost their houses and stuff like that from it. So I found this place where I was going to meet these families who were basically put in, like, accommodation, let's say, because they'd lost their houses and stuff like that, and they'd lost everything. And I was like, I found this place. And he used to send me a little bit of extra money because obviously I didn't want to come out of my daily budget. I needed money for funds to go and buy. I wanted to go and buy daily essentials like toothpaste, toothbrushes, toiletries, basic needs. I was going to go and spend $200 on loads of little bits and bobs and go to the centre and do a day and film it all, and for content for them. Do you know what I mean? For them to put on the pages and whatever they were doing. And they were like, oh, yeah, we'll do that, but let's just get a little bit further in. And I was like, this is what I've come, this is what I'm here for. Like, I've come to give back, to do all these bits of charity work. Why not now? Why in 2 more days? Why in 3 more days? This is a perfect spot. It's literally on my route. I'm not going out my way to get there. I don't need to walk 5 miles off the route to get there, you know what I mean? I can stop in the shop that's facing it, spend the money, walk over. I've already spoken to them and said I'm going to be coming in and organised it with them, do you know what I mean? And they're like, yeah, no, there's this other place further up, we're going to go into there. And it just never ended up like thinking, I was doing it off my own back, off my own back. They weren't essentially interested in the charity work once I was there. Do you know what I mean?
It just wasn't making sense.
It just was, it just didn't add up.
They were skimming off some of the actual charity work.
They were essentially using my face, which I found out a lot further, and they were using my content and my face, my videos and the mission to basically push a meme coin.
You know what, right? Like, of all the ways charities could, I'm not even going to say it. I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in trouble. Because I don't want to accuse anything it just feels like...
I'll say it for you. There's so many charities, the biggest charities in the world. How is a director of a charity a multi-millionaire? Explain that to me.
Again, I prefer not to speak.
Yeah. But...
No, listen. At some point, if it quacks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's
exactly,
a duck.
It makes
but
sense.
But ducks are cute and these people aren't. Obviously, a lot of shady things that happen behind the scenes. But I guess what my head is saying is, of all the ways you could, in a shady way, like get money off someone, why put it into something so unstably stupid like a meme coin?
Exactly my point. And
they could have just gone through all of Liverpool and just said, Boz is our trusted friend, can you just pitch in? And they probably would have got a lot more money off it.
1,000,000%. But so when obviously that got mentioned to me about it, whatever, sound okay, you know what I mean? Like, I've got no idea.
What was the concept of this meme coin? So how would they actually...
They were trying to basically... Very clever, really. Very, very clever, really. They were trying to say, you donate to a charity. I'm not saying any charity you can think of. You donate, you can ring them and give them money. You don't know where it's going. You don't know what's happening with it. You've just got to believe what they're telling you. For instance, so if I donate, say, £10,000 to whatever charity name, you don't know what's happening with that 10 grand. So their thing was to have a transparent charity. So where people donate, they buy the coin, which is owning something. You own it, it's going to build. The more missions we do, that coin value is going to go up.
Like shares.
Yeah, so you're making money by buying the coin, but you're also donating to charity. You're funding, essentially, me or someone else to go round the world to do these missions.
Yeah. Do
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, do you know what? Fair enough, good idea. I want nothing to do with it. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand it all. You do your own thing. But just know that I want the money that comes from it is going back onto missions. Do you know what I mean? I don't want none.
But you couldn't keep track of this, obviously.
No,
you're the face, but you're not seeing logistically where the money is going, what account is going.
So when it all started going wrong, essentially, I'm getting spammed by people on lives on TikTok and that. People who have lost money. When I think the term they use in that world is rugged. They rugged the coin, which basically means they've shut shop. They've sold, took all the money, took everyone's money, and they're gone.
And say we can't pay any of you back either.
It's gone. They didn't. They just deleted the Telegram groups that there was. I think there was over 700 people in it, donators. I was running the Twitter account, their social medias, my own social medias, and people were coming into my live, like giving me grief because when this had happened, Boz, you've robbed me. You've robbed my money. What's going on? Where's Save Our World? Where's my money gone? Where's that gone? Why is this? Why are you still walking? Where are they? It was on me. It was me that got the blame. And I'm still walking and I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what's going on? Obviously, I got introduced to them through my friend Elliot, Speedo Man, who obviously does walks and stuff like that himself. Obviously, I've rang him. I'm like, what's going on here, lad? And he's like, I've got no idea. They've shut shop. It's gone. There's no such thing as Save Our World no more. It's gone. So I'm like, what do you mean, lad? I'm on the hard shoulder walking down the motorway in America for them. What do you mean they're gone? Like, they've spent all this money What do you mean they're gone, lad? Like, he was like, the money's gone. I've lost money. You've lost money. Everyone, if you've got any friends who have bought the coin, Dev, it's gone. It's gone. It just vanished off the face of the earth. It was just like, so I was like, right, okay. What the hell on earth am I going to do here? What do we do?
Have you seen those guys or heard from them since?
Never.
What about the charity? Completely off?
Never. Just
Are they from
dissolved.
Liverpool?
No. Amsterdam.
They're from Amsterdam. Oh. Small world, you might see him one day.
Oh, lad. I really don't want to.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'll end up in jail, to tell you the God's honest truth. But, like I'm saying, I know they are going to do it to someone again. I know they're going to be doing it again. They've gone there, if not, probably already. Do you get what I'm saying? Because they were only after one thing, money. Do you know what I mean? Again, now I'm speaking about it, I'm thinking, why me? Why was it me? And why did it go wrong on my mission?
They say God gives his greatest challenges to his strongest scousers, mate.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that.
You had to survive quite a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, massively.
Bit of a journey.
Yeah, roller coaster.
I swear this could be a movie. I know some filmmakers.
Tell them to hit me up, bro, and we'll make a film.
Nah, you need a script. You need a script.
1,000,000%.
And it'd be fun. Now, we are getting towards the end. The last few days, I suppose I want you to paint a picture or verbally articulate as well as you can the struggle of the last few days and then the relief of not only getting to the airport but then getting back home and dealing with it mentally, actually, once you got back to Liverpool. Because in the moment, you're just surviving. Then when you finally rest, your brain actually crashes and like, damn, I actually made this. I actually did this.
Yeah, it was
So when you get to San Antonio, that's the part we were left off.
Yeah. So obviously I've got off the bus in San Antonio. Like a duck out of water, basically. I did that like a fish out of water, sorry as to say, and I literally didn't know what I was going to do. From there, still, again, I've got no food, no water, no money, no supplies, nothing. I'm further along in my mission, but I'm in the same exact position. Do you know what I mean? I've just obviously took a lot of stress and a lot of miles off the journey. Do you know what I mean? I'm essentially
got to rest a bit as well, I guess.
I think I had the whole time. I think out of 56 days, I think I walked for 52, and I had 2 full days where it didn't do
Seriously,
none of the journey.
How do you even do that? How can someone just say I walked? Bro, I'm not gonna lie, boss. Sometimes like you're giving Superman vibes, and
I'll take that, lad.
It's just.
I'll take that, lad.
This is not normal.
What, lad? So, what essentially I had to do, when people ask me, and like, I just had to get regimental. I just had to shut off. Like, I had a routine what I was doing every single day. Like, I'd get up in the morning, 50 push-ups, pack my bag, and go. That's what I was doing every single day. And I felt towards the end, when I was obviously where I'm getting to now with staying with Roberto and that, I weren't doing them push-ups no more because I weren't doing the mission. And I feel like I just got so lazy. I didn't do nothing, and it was great. It was absolutely unbelievable. So
you get to San Antonio and then you meet Roberto.
Yeah, so I was walking, following my map again, but the road I was actually supposed to be on was, say, here, and then the next block along, I was actually on that road, so I was on the wrong road. But I thought, saves me going left, I'll just follow them straight to the end and then meet up at the, do you know what I mean? Meet up at the bottom. Yeah. So I'm just walking. At this point, one of my friends, Nick, had sent me money. I think he sent me 50 quid or something like that. Basically, sort yourself out, go and get a scran, go and look after yourself. Sort of like stop stressing type of thing, do you know what I mean? You're going to be all right, we'll get there type of thing. So I've got $50 for the first time in days. So obviously first thing I've done, I've gone to the shop, I've bought myself water and food, walking down the road. And I was zoned into my phone trying to plan where I could come into where I needed to be. Looked up and there's just this big green hut. Which was called the Smoking Llama. I walked into this building to just chill out for a bit really and just get my head together and think about what I was going to do because I had a tent. I've got a tent now. So I'm in the city, San Antonio City, and it was still like 6 hours to get from this, where I got off the bus, to the opposite end of San Antonio, to where I was going to pitch up and camp.
The camp, not the airport? Not
the airport. This is San Antonio, which is still about, I think it was about 200 miles from the airport.
Brownsville?
Yeah. About 240 miles, I think it was, roughly, which then is doable. I've still got 17 days left or something. Do you know what I mean? I'm there. I'm essentially there. I've got to get through the next couple of days. I was going to just get the airport and just stay around the airport camping for as long as however many days I had left.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? If I got there early.
But let's go back on track. So you walk into this store, the llama store, which the CBD store, and then
Roberto was obviously the man who owned the store. He basically just welcomed me in with open arms. Come and sit down, brother, sit down here, do you smoke, do you drink, do you this, do you that. Obviously I'm telling him and he's like, what? You left the White House on the 16th of January and now you're here and whatever, we go through that rigmarole. And he's like, right, listen to me right now, we need to have a beer. You need a beer. You need to, like, well done, like, you know what I mean? I was like, I won't say no to a beer, mate. I've been walking for so long. Let's have a beer. So we're having a beer, whatever. And I'd been there for maybe 3 hours, 4 hours at this point. In the back of my mind, I've still got to walk. I've still got to go. I need somewhere to pitch up. I can't just pitch up in a city. Do you know what I mean? And he just stands up and he just goes, You're not going. You're not going nowhere. You can camp. You can camp in my back garden. And there's a bit of grass in the back garden there. You can camp out there. And I'm like, really? Like, you'll do that for me, lad? And he's like, of course. Stay here for the night. You're welcome. We can finish our night off. Blah, blah, blah. Get up in the morning. Crack on, you know what I mean? Carry on your mission. So I'm made up. He's buying me food and that now. He's bought me food. Bought me some food. The night's gone on a little bit longer and he goes, you're not sleeping outside in a tent. Like, it's not happening. It's not happening.
Yeah, it was obviously...
You can have my couch. You're going to sleep on the couch. I can't put a good man like you outside. That's what he was saying to me. You're doing this. Who am I to put you in my back garden, he was saying. And I'm like, mate, I will happily sleep in that back garden. Do you know what I mean?
No, but I think at that point, he was just trying to convince you to come back with him. So he gave you the idea of, I'll make you camp in my garden. But really what he meant was he was trying to accommodate you and look after you.
Yeah. So then obviously, I've stayed on his couch. Bearing in mind, this is his business. He's got everything is everywhere, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Everything's out, everything's in the open. And I'm thinking to myself, he's gone in his room. I could literally, he didn't know me from anything. I could have robbed all his stuff.
Yeah, but you know what it is, right? Like when someone comes and says, I've been walking for mental health for 50 days, I've got holes in my Crocs and these are my vlogs. I wouldn't really expect you to rob me. No,
I know, of course. But like I'm saying, like, he didn't know me. I could have been a scumbag, you know what I mean? I could have done anything. I've woke up and this is where the coin had gone. I woke up the next morning and there was nothing. It was just gone. The chat was gone. They were gone. My money was gone. Everything was gone. And obviously...
But at this point, you just care about getting home.
Yeah. But I still needed money off them to get to the airport for food and stuff like that. And, you know, I didn't want to have to ring home and say to me mum and me nan, look, you know, they've left me. I'm miles away from you. They're worrying. They're having to send me money. I didn't want to do none of that. So obviously Roberto, we're chatting, whatever. And he's like, what are you actually going to do, lad? Like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't really know, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm just going to have to carry on walking, and I'm just going to have to get help off my family and friends, money-wise, do you know what I mean? Woke up, so I cracked on. And do you know what? I can't actually remember. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I do. Somebody had bought me a room. I donated a room, but it was literally 2 hours, not even 2 hour walk from where I was. And I had, essentially, I needed to be walking all day.
To get there.
Do you know what I mean? But this was close. This was literally round the corner, let's say, from the Smoking Llama. So I'm like, I didn't either. I carry on walking and forget about that room and deal with further up and try and get another one sorted, but then it's a follower who's following me journey, and they're trying to help. They would just spend the day in San Antonio and stay in that room. Do you know what I mean? I don't know when the next time I'm going to be able to get a shower or not and is again, because I've got a tent. Do you know what I mean? And I've got no money for rooms. So I thought, do you know what, sound okay? So I went and checked into the room, and then Roberto rang me. How are we getting on? Where are you? And I was like, oh, someone donated the room. I'm such and such. And he was like, bro, it's a 10-minute drive away. Come back. Do you want me to come and get you? And I was like, well, yeah, go ahead. I'm here for the day. May as well, do you know what I mean? He took me for food, took me down San Antonio and stuff like that. Introduced me to loads of people. So basically, I ended up having like 10-day holiday, 9-day holiday or something. Walking around San Antonio and bits and bobs. Obviously with Roberto, I was basically working for Roberto to stay with him for free. I was helping him like round the shop and stuff like that.
At this point, is the mission over?
The mission's done that. The mission, I've literally just got to get the airport. Do you know what I mean?
So you basically said to Brownsville, so you're done.
I've got to get to Brownsville. That's it. Like, there was no SpaceX, there was no walk, it was literally, however I've got to get there now, whether it be car, bike, bus, run, walk, I've got to be there for the date, for whatever date, I can't remember the exact date, I think it was the 14th, the 10th, sorry, that I was flying home. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to carry on doing the walk, and everyone's saying to me, Roberto's saying to me, like, well, the mission's done that, you know what I mean? Like, the mission was over. Like, you're not going to the final destination anyway. You've got to get there. Why not just make the most of your time? Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got no money, you've got nothing. Essentially, your only option is really to either walk, sleep in a tent every night with no money, with no food, and you probably won't make it there because it's still like, say, a 10-day walk away, 12-day walk away with no money, no food, no nothing.
I'm personally surprised you didn't collapse. I'm dead serious. Like, because there's only... There was a time on the side of the hard shoulder, and this was 4.5 days, no food, no water, burning 10,000 calories a day. Yeah.
So if you think of it like that way, I haven't consumed 0 calories and I've burnt nearly 50,000 calories.
Wait, so zero, literally zero?
Nothing. I had nothing, lad. Literally
4.5
days. I literally had nothing.
No water?
Nothing, lad.
But I know you didn't physically have it, but like, did no one even just give you a bottle of water?
I was literally, unless I was stopping a car on the motorway, do you know, like there was no, I was literally in the middle of nowhere. There was like, even gas stations. Do you know what I mean?
But that's what I mean, like someone just give you a sandwich or something.
I didn't see anyone, lad, for them. But I was literally going, waking up and going, waking up and going. There was no people. I was in like rural Tennessee. Do you know what I mean? There was nothing anywhere. There was nobody. Didn't have a conversation with anyone other than my phone. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was nothing. And the weirdest thing about it is the 2 motels I stayed in, them times, were self-check-in motels. Every other motel, the whole time, I had to see people to check in. I had to speak to someone. There was times where I was going to them and saying, "Do you any chance I can have a bottle of water, please, mate?" Or like, trying to find motels with breakfast of a morning. That was my motive, to save money and eat. Bed and breakfast, basically. But the breakfast was a coffee and a muffin. Do you know what I mean? So, like, even in these places, there was these 2 motels that I stayed in. They weren't even human. They weren't even, like, I didn't see anyone there. You know what I mean? I arrived at 10, 11 o'clock at night and got off at 7:30 in the morning. Do you get what I'm saying? There was no one on the desk. I think that was just unfortunate, to be totally honest with you. It was just a coincidence. But afterwards, like, obviously I was going into places then where I was staying, and I was saying to them, listen, giving them my spiel, and they were like, yeah, there's water, trying to help me, giving me bits and bobs. But for them 4 days, there was nothing, literally nothing.
I hear that. So, Roberto, great guy, smoking llama, and then you stay in San Antonio for about 8-9 days, and you finally get to the airport.
Yeah, so...
And you have to do a bit more camping as well.
Yeah.
But you're there now, you've got a sense of relief.
Yeah, so I've got to Brownsville. I had like the airport was like about 4 hours away, 3 hours away or something like that. So obviously I'm walking to it. I still remember it like it was yesterday, Lara. It was like a little bit of an incline. You couldn't see the airport. It was like a hill, so to speak. This last little stretch. And I got there with, I think it was 18 hours to spare.
Better than being late.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think it was 18 hours to spare, so I essentially had 18 hours to kill, to wait.
You missed your flight, could you have swum back?
I probably
could have.
I'd have had to.
Probably could have.
Still the greatest feeling. I couldn't even put, I don't even know how to put it into words to tell you, to be honest with you. It's the first time I've spoke about it. Just walking, the sun was coming down. Now I'm in southern Texas, I'm in Texas here, right next to the Mexican border. It's roasting hot. I've got no top on, I've got no socks on, me Crocs, a pair of shorts and me bag. And I was just coming, kind of felt like I was coming up the hill for ages. And I just seen the airport and just hit the deck, just collapsed. Hit the floor dropped to my knees, and I was just like, lad, you've done it, lad, you know, like you're literally here, lad, like, sorry, lad.
I gotta tell you, mate, I think sometimes in life things are just meant to be. Because by all accounts, every bit of common sense says to me, I'm not even trying to be funny, A, you should have collapsed at some point. B, you should have felt ill at some point. C, you should have been bitten by a mosquito, an animal. Like, everything just says this kid just kept surviving this. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's almost like, yeah, it was chaotic, but it was almost meant to be. Because by every single thought in my head says, how is this guy coming out unscathed? And you obviously were not unscathed per se, like, but to not have hurt yourselves, broken something is miraculous in itself, man.
Yeah. When I got there, lad, I've got up off my knees, my bag up, and my bag was just so heavy now because it was there, do you know what I mean? And I just felt like everything was just so heavy. There was this like little shop, and I looked on my phone. I had $9.12 in my bank, and I thought, what are you gonna do? You can't get food in the airport. There's nothing you can do. So I just thought, you know what? This is it. I've got 18 hours to kill. The sun's out. It's 32 degrees. I've only got my shorts on. You're done. You know what I mean? You've done it, lad. You're here. So I'm not ashamed of this one bit. I spent the last $9 on 4 bottles of Corona. I sat on the side of this little river that ran alongside the airport, and I just drank me 4 bottles of Corona, listening to music, thinking, going through me stuff.
Who are you listening to?
I had this playlist on SoundCloud, country music. They'd never listened to country music before I went to America.
You were in San Antonio.
And so I was listening to songs like Ella Langley. Her name is, I couldn't tell you what's the tune called. Something, I should know this because I was singing it the whole way. Something about Baby You Love Me or something, I don't know, I can't remember. I'll send you the song so you can put it in the thing.
I think what happened at the end was your body finally relaxed and everything started to feel heavy, like you said.
Yeah.
Adrenaline over, you've made
That's,
it.
That you've just hit the nail on the head. My adrenaline was gone, I knew I'd done it. And so, yeah, I've drank me 4 bottles of Corona, got up the road, got back up there, goes to the airport. Now this airport, like, the best way I can describe it is like the airport of Narcos.
I don't know what that is. Oh, the TV show?
Yeah, the one on Netflix, just a little tiny airport, and it shut at 12 o'clock at night. Like, it was tiny. The aeroplanes in it were like propeller planes. They weren't a big airport. It was just literally dropped there. There was a bit of tarmac and that was it. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. So I'm in the airport, sat there waiting, and the lady comes over and says, "You're going to have to go outside, you know." Like, what do you mean? She's like, "We're closing." What do you mean you're closing to an airport? What am I supposed to do? Do you know what I mean? She's like, "What time's your flight?" Told her, it was like another, say, 8-9 hours. I was like, "Can I not just like sleep on the bench here?" You know what I mean? She was like, "We're shutting it up. There's no one going to be inside."
It's a small airport, basically.
Yeah, so I'd just gone outside, and it was all like astroturfed in the car park and stuff like that, and I just basically just had to sleep.
For one more night.
Just lie down on the astroturf, and just lie there and just tried to sleep, couldn't sleep, and then getting in the airport, and this is crazy, you know, and I feel like it's proper, like a full circle moment. I've got in the airport and I'm waiting to get me thing on my bag, because it was only my bag that I had, you know what I mean? I was checking my bag in, and there was literally probably 18 people, including staff, not even 20. I wouldn't even say there was 20 people in the whole airport. I'm sticking out like a sore thumb. I've got shorts on, t-shirts, a big blue bag, and a pair of Crocs. Probably stink, probably rotten. This woman, it was like she spotted me from one side of the airport. Now it's only a small airport, you know what I mean? It was literally tiny. I've spotted her, carried on doing what I'm doing. And we'd done it 4 times. We caught eye contact, bump, and I was like, wow, why is she staring at me? You know, like it was like she was staring at me. Gone through, and as it goes through, she's gone through, and she was with a little boy. And the little boy come running over to me, and he goes, "Are you the lad who's walked across America 2,000 miles, Boz?" Lad, I got goosebumps now, and I was just like, there's no way. There's not. And he went, his mum come over, and she was like, "Can he have a picture with you? He's been watching you all on TikTok since February." And I was like, are you being very, like, is this really, like, is this real? Like, this little boy obviously took a little picture and that with the little boy. And yeah, lad, it was just so surreal. And I just sat on the plane the whole way home. The whole way because I had to fly from Brownsville back to Washington, right across America. Basically what I'd just walked, I flew back over. Do you know what I mean? And
then back to Liverpool or London or Manchester?
To London, Heathrow, and then to Manchester, yeah. But then I got off the plane, and this little boy and this woman were in Ronald Reagan Airport in Washington, D.C. And again, he come running over to me, and he said to me, I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but he said, "If I want to do something like you when I'm older, what do we have to do?"
Don't do it.
That should have been my answer. What
did you say?
And I just said to him, I said, "Lad, you can do whatever you want. Anything you want, anything in life you want to do it." And he went, "I want to walk across America like you."
You could do anything.
And lad, it just broke my heart. Do you know what I mean?
You just need better planning.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. That's like 1,000,000%.
Coming for you, boss.
Let them.
Listen, what you did was incredible. You just need planning it. I think hindsight 2020, right?
Yeah.
But planning it, I think it could be a thing that a community of people can even do, and they can do it together, and they can encourage each other.
Yeah.
It's amazing though, like, you know, while you're struggling on the other side of the country, somewhere randomly is a little kid enjoying your story.
Mad,
Your
innit?
story.
Mad. It's just so mad. And then obviously that was the first time it happened. I've come home, and once I got home, it just happened so many times.
You're probably a hero in Liverpool now.
Nah, no chance, lad.
You're a cult hero, mate.
No.
You're gonna have a stand in the new Everton Stadium named after you.
Like me bio says, lad, I'm just a council estate kid from Liverpool, lad.
Duncan Ferguson is gonna come meet you.
I hope so, because he's one of my legends, lad. He's one of my favourite people in the world. Big Dunk, so Big Dunk, if you want to come and meet me, lad, come and meet me. But
can I give you a bit of advice by that? Honestly, just if he has socials or email, just reach out.
Yeah.
I land guests that I've landed guests that I've, let's say, been admiring since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Just gotta send a
it's
DM.
Networking, lad, innit? You've just gotta bite the bullet. And
I'm just saying, we can make you an ambassador for Everton Football Club, and I don't even think that's an exaggeration.
Let's do it, lad. I'd be, as I say, I've come home, and when I come home, I had all these big crazy plans to editing and that and stuff like that, lad. I'm not very creative with the editing, do you know what I mean? Like, otherwise, I'd be in the process of making my own movie now. I wouldn't be waiting for anyone else. I'd be making like a documentary or something about it, because that's definitely something I want to do, you know what I mean? Like, just for awareness, just literally for awareness, so that doesn't ever happen to anyone ever again, and for other people to, if you want to go and do something, like, I'm not sitting here being a big preacher, but just do it.
Yeah.
Just go and do it. Like, you're not here for long. Just do it. Like, if you want to go and do something, you're thinking about something and you've been planning something, or maybe not something as crazy as that, just anything, just go and do it. What's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean?
Well,
you're gonna fail. That's the worst thing that's gonna happen, and you're gonna learn from failing. You know what I mean?
Listen, based on your story, based on life experience itself, it always works out.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Yeah, and I'm dead serious. I think you're a bit of a hero in Liverpool now, and
oh, thank you. I appreciate that, lad. Thank you. Honest.
It's a big deal. 2,000 miles.
Yeah, it is, of course, lad. Yeah, definitely.
I'll say it again, man. I get the lift to the first floor.
So do I now, lad. I've done enough work to last me a lifetime.
Until you go to the Isle of Man.
Till the Isle of Man, the 10th of August, yeah. Obviously, for anyone that wants to follow along, watch, donate, there'll be a link up soon. Be in my bio and stuff like that. And as I say, if you're someone that wants to get involved and sponsor us towards our equipment, gear, food, travel,
tell them how they can find you on socials just before we end.
So my name is Backpack Boz _ on all social medias. As I say, anytime, night or day, message me. If there's anything I can do to help you, I will. But yeah, there will be some we'll go with crazy challenges coming up over the next 12 months. And yeah, the Ironman's the 10th of August till the 16th of August. We're going to be walking from Liverpool to the Isle of Man, round the perimeter of the Isle of Man and home. We're taking people from me mental health group, someone from a charity called Daisy Inclusive UK, who do a lot of work with disabled children and autistic children, stuff like that. And yeah, me homeless nights, Christmas as well, there'll be another one of them on this year, where obviously I do a charity day for all the homeless people, feed them all, clothe them all, tents, sleeping bags, get local businesses involved. So anything, I'll be upfront and be honest. Even if it is, you do just want to promote your business and you want a bit of traction towards your page, give me a shout. Donate towards, give me a sponsor, and I'll do it. You know what I mean? Right now, I've currently got 5.2 million views on Instagram every 30 days. So it's no good to me. Might be good use to you. So if you want to use it and sponsor a good cause. Send us that. Take people around the world to get out the room, get off the tablets, get off the phones.
I hear that.
Cure the mental health.
On that note, Boz,
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you for coming down. Thank you
yeah.
for sharing your story. And my people, I will see you on the next one. You take care now.
Thank you very much. Ta, brother. Thank you, lad.